we are like a Millionaire is really dedicated to keep your privacy. A lottery is always like to be there to make money for a good cause.
Winnings can be a blessing and a burden. Hello and welcome to another episode of the Millionaire Podcast. With us, I have someone very special. He's one of 3 lotto game designers in the world. So if you have any questions regarding lottos, he's the guy to go to. And he's here with us today to share all insights about Millionaire and the green initiative behind it, Oasis Park. Mr. Ravi Martin.
Thank you very much, Maradona. Again, it's an amazing pleasure to be here and talking to you about all these lottery topics and finding out what people are interested in and giving like some insights actually to the people out there in the world.
True.
Lottery business is not gambling. I mean, yes, might be some people think it is, but I believe that lottery is changing your life and not making it miserable by losing a lot of money.
True. Great. And the topic for today is, can I remain anonymous if I win the lotto?
Well, that depends on the lottery.
Okay.
If you look on the global market, I mean, then we have like different, like rules and terms and conditions, let's say, like for staying anonymous in when you win. Now, I personally believe in staying anonymous and like it should be your decision, right? So, so there are some lotteries that announcing, let's say, a winner, or parts of the winning saying like, okay, this is Mr. Maradona from Dubai and he won, the jackpot. And some lotteries are 100% quiet about this. Okay, so I mean, you have like both sides. And then we have like new lotteries, I would say, or new people that, or organizations that are really announcing your name and your picture and all this kind of stuff. Again, it should be up to you. But we are, like a Millionaire is really dedicated to keep your privacy, I would say.
And why do some lotteries force winners to go public?
Now, see, I mean, there are, again, different reasons. I mean, for one, I mean, they want to achieve, like, credibility, for example. If a lot of people ask, even us, why don't you tell us who is winning? Because, then we can believe it. Then they want to have, create a media buzz, of course, so it's for marketing reasons, I would say. And, they are promoting their future sales, right? They want to increase the number of tickets they are selling. So, yes, I mean, this is and they sometimes have it in the terms and conditions. You don't even get your winning if you are not providing your picture and your details, right, to the public.
Wow. So that's publicity at the expense of
your privacy.
Someone's privacy.
Yeah.
Wow.
Again, I don't believe in this. And I would always suggest that if somebody is forcing you, then just maybe you even consult a lawyer to say hey, listen, I don't want that, because they cannot keep back your winnings just because you want to have your privacy. It brings people to a risk. I mean, you always have to understand, if you are winning so much money from the jackpot, then it's very likely that somebody is coming to you and begging you for money. They are threatening you. They give you bad investments and ideas and all this kind of stuff. And so I really urge people to make their own decision, in having their own privacy. In the UK, for example, it is that obviously you can make your decision saying I want to be private or not. 85% of the winners are choosing privacy.
Okay.
So they want to protect their families and, everything. So, and then we have like winners that are not going public. For example, in India, there was one guy, he gave like all his winnings, for example, to charity, but nobody knew who it was. That's very nice, right? Another guy, by the way, he gave like, he had a winning, he shared it with his family, and then they stopped talking to him. And you know why? Not because he gave them money, because they believed that he did not give them enough money.
Oh my God.
So better stay quiet and don't talk about it, right? So, but it's not so difficult, right? I mean, you can change your life. Of course, you can move in a nicer apartment, in a bigger house. You can start your own business without people really saying like, oh, look at this guy. He's like a lottery winner. And some people, like another example from India, for example, he gave the winnings away because, and again for good causes, because he was afraid that he gets like really threatened by the people from the village he was living in.
Oh, wow.
So his fear of being harmed was bigger than being the millionaire.
Wow.
So again, staying anonymous and being quiet is a very big issue. And I recommend everybody to follow some certain rules, like and not going public. And I mean, like you don't want to have people standing in front of your house. You have family now, and you are like, you don't want to see people that are like begging and threatening you and just because they know your face and where you live.
True.
Right.
And O Millionaire allows you to stay anonymous if you win the lottery.
Absolutely. I mean, O Millionaire is not using your data. It's protected. Sometimes we ask people but most of the time, we never force anyone. We suggest don't do it. But if somebody wants to get public, then it's fine. We even advise like how to do it a proper way, or we just use your, your name, maybe the country you're coming from, but not the region or something like that. So again, I consider this important, very important for winners, and we following the, let's say, I would call it like industry standard, not to talk about it.
Okay.
But obviously, like some people and some organizations that are not, maybe I wouldn't even consider them as a proper lottery because they are just doing it for making money, right? A lottery is always like to be there to make money for a good cause. That's the intention of a proper lottery, I would say. And they want to publish your name and your address and I don't know, your phone number, maybe not your phone number, but they want to increase sales. That's the whole story. And credibility. But at the end of the day, a credible lottery does not need to expose people to make more money.
Perfect. So winnings can be a blessing and a burden.
Yes, you're right. I mean, winning is like, the blessing is like you are playing in a different league. You can afford things you couldn't afford before. You can change your life.
Yeah.
You can change the life for your closest family members, meaning like maybe your parents or your wife and children. You can give them nice education. You can do something good to the community, maybe even. And the burden is like, don't show off too much, right? And, I mean, if you are like living in a small village, you don't want to show up with a brand new Lamborghini, for example, right? I mean, everybody says like, oh, so what's going on there?
Yeah, you won't have proper roads to drive the Lamborghini there.
Yeah, well, that's true. So these kind of things are, so it's really important. I mean, like to change it, maybe your life in a very smart way. Nobody really is asking, like if you're sending your kids to a different school, and most of the time nobody's asking like how much money does he have to afford it, because it's between you and the school, let's say. But again, the blessing is you are changing. You have the possibility to change everything in your life, and a lot of times, like the people don't even know how to deal with this kind of wealth in their bank account. And at the same time, please make sure that you're not getting exposed, so people cannot threat you or your family, and and you have still a quiet life.
Wow.
But I can tell you a different story from a guy that he really wanted to go public in Germany. He's a lottery winner, and he was like, he's basically a reality star now, because or not reality star, but he's like very public in the newspapers, and they write about him all the time, because he's always doing these funny things, like buying these amazing cars like Porsche and all this kind of stuff. Then and then he has a girlfriend, and then he breaks up and he has another girlfriend, and then the girls are fighting. Of course, then he's like he's buying apartments, and the other day one of his apartment houses like caught fire, then obviously, is it because he's a winner, or is it just random? In this case, it was just a random fire. So, but you see, the whole country is having some interest in this guy, and he cannot show up on the street anymore because everybody knows his face, right? But this guy chose this life, and he has no kids. So
he's entertaining the country.
So that's okay, but it's his decision, right? It's not the lottery forced him to do that. He chose this life, like being a star, and not just for 5 minutes, but always. Obviously, like for a long time. And another podcast we had before, I remember we were talking about this girl in England, the youngest lottery winner in England, in the UK. And she did the same thing, and she spent like the money in no time, for example, because she wanted to be on these parties and paying for all this kind of jewelry and beauty surgeries and all this kind of stuff. So
was she the same one who went broke twice after winning the lottery? Twice?
No, that was another one.
Okay.
But you see, being in the public gives like a different pressure. Also, like to people are looking what you're doing with the money. Again, my advice for everybody is take your money and then use it wisely. Do not tell anyone, not even to your best friends, because the next thing you know is they are begging for money. And even if they are begging, don't consider the money coming back. Consider this if you give the money as a donation. I've seen this over the last 30 years, more or less, so many winners coming and going, that it's the best advice. Stay calm, stay private, do not go public.
Well, there you have it. Yes, you can choose to remain anonymous if you win the lottery with O Millionaire.
100% true.
Until then,
you can't win if you don't play.